So recently, in the wake of the movie theaters have been closed for like months now, and not a lot of new movies have been released for the most part. But some studios have opted to release their movies digitally for, everybody to watch. But there is a catch. When watching movies like this, it's not like a regular rental fee like most other movies that release on demand after they're like done running in theaters, but rather the studio asks for a one-time rental price of 20 bucks. Or if you want to keep the movie forever, it's $5 extra, so like, whatever. But realistically, that's a great deal for families because as long as you're renting the movie for 4 people to watch, it's $5 a person, which is way cheaper than going to see a movie in a regular theater. And this was the case for Trolls World Tour, and it worked out wonderfully for DreamWorks. And then there was also Scoob, which...
Dick.
But basically, a lot of kids' movies have been releasing like this, and they've been using this model for rent it for 20 bucks. It's essentially like you're going to see a movie in theaters, but it's at home. And it's slightly cheaper. It's still kind of expensive, but it's slightly cheaper. But now, Disney's getting in on this ride because they're releasing Mulan on Disney+. So, the only plan they offer for if you want to buy Mulan to watch is, first off, you have to own a Disney Plus membership, and then you have to buy the movie on your Disney Plus account for $30. Not rent, there's no rent option, you have to buy it. And also, if you ever decide to stop your Disney Plus account, or if it accidentally runs out, then you lose the movie. So, first off, making people buy a movie that they haven't even seen yet is kind of yucky, and the market for people buying movies at home isn't ideal already, as it's mostly populated by, collectors and dumbasses like myself. But that's for stuff like DVDs and Blu-rays. Convincing a regular consumer to buy a movie on an imaginary catalog that doesn't exist anywhere other than online is going to be a nightmare for Disney. Realistically though, this deal is still good for families, because it's still only $7.50 per viewer. But seeing as this movie is rated PG-13, you'd think that, the movie isn't really meant for families. Couples, young or old, lonely single people like myself, this deal is exclusively worse for those kinds of people. If you want to watch Mulan and you want to get your money's worth, you have to watch the movie with at least 3 people. Or, watch the movie a couple times with another person or whatever. But this brings me to another point. Why would I want to watch the live-action remake of Mulan more than once, if ever? Like, I'm aware the movie isn't out yet, and that they extensively changed the script to be more like the old folktale, but have any of the Disney remakes been on par with the original films? Like, the original Mulan is far from a perfect movie, but it has lots of charm, it tells a nice story, it's good.
This out on you? This out on your cow?
I'm sure that this live-action Mulan will have enough to, merit it being its own unique thing, but does that mean it will be good? Probably not. And if I'm wrong, you can come back to this video on September 4th and be like, oh, the movie good. Me smart, you dumb, but I doubt it's gonna be good. And that is an entirely different rant in itself. Like, fuck Disney and their need to remake all the Disney Renaissance films. Like, just leave them be. They're fine the way they are. Imagine if I asked you, I walk into a room and I say, hey, let's watch a movie. But would you like to experience it in the exact way that it was intended to be experienced? Or would you like the ugly version? Either way, I hope that this precedent of releasing movies digitally doesn't continue, because it rips off regular single consumers, and I also genuinely miss the vibe of movie theaters. Like, I'm one of those nerds that actually still goes to theaters to see stuff. Plus, I don't want to continue my life and have to say that the last movie I ever saw in movie theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog on Valentine's Day.